Okay, so apparent reason, I just want to get out of my house. I want to get out of my house, same lifestyle, same culture in Cambodia, Asian culture. I just want to come to America and experience it since I grew up with it, with YouTube, Instagram and everything, TikTok. It's basically very Americanized, so I just want to experience it firsthand, and I really enjoyed it so far.
I decided to become an exchange student because I wanted to improve my English because it's gonna be important for my future, and also because I wanted to get to know a new culture and meet new people.
I wanted to be an exchange student because I think that English is like really important, and I also wanted to experience something different.
I decided to be an exchange student because one of my biggest dreams is see the world, the entire world, and kinda nervous. And go to America has been my dream since I was really, really young, and it's a good start. And of course, I want my English to be close to perfect. But because of my accent, sometimes it's really hard. And Mama Lish know that really, really, really well. So basically, I just decided to be here just to start my biggest dream, of course, see the world.
I always was joking around that I would definitely go to America to live and see the world and travel a lot. But it was basically a joke for me. And then my friends, two of my close friends, actually got the opportunity to go and experience this. And after they've been talking about to me, I was like, I definitely want to do it. But I was 15 or 16, and my parents said that I was like a little too young, that we could discuss it maybe a year later. But I was still so determined to go here that I was just talking about so much that then my parents did that for me, and I was so happy to come here because this was like really a dream for me that I could study here. So that's how I became an exchange student.
So, although I'm an only child, my parents always said that they wanted to raise me to the world, basically, to discover everything. And when I started first grade, I went to a bilingual school, so I learned Portuguese and English at the same time. And since my first day of school, my mom came to pick me up, and I looked at her and I was like, okay, Mom, so when can we move to the US now? And so they kind of always knew eventually I was gonna come. And 3 years ago, I decided to do an exchange program, and my parents were completely on board with it. They knew it was my dream, it was their dream that they couldn't experience when they were kids. So it was a dream for them to be giving it to me as well. And here I am today, 3 years later. I kind of never went back. And I love it, every single part of it, every second of it.
You want to tell everybody what you're doing now, 3 years later?
Oh, yes. I stayed for college, so I had an amazing opportunity at my host house, my host family, Mama Lish. And while I was in college, while I was an exchange student, college was kind of like a dream that I thought like, oh, doing college in the US is something crazy. It's so expensive. School in Brazil is free, by the way. So it was a really like a dream. I didn't think it was gonna be possible. And I got placed in my host family, and it was amazing. It was a God's placement, because when I came, I was indecisive of what I wanted. I didn't know if I want to go to med school in Brazil, and I met my host family. I met my little brother's little story. He was a NICU baby, so I was just like, okay, that's it. That's what I have to do. And my host mom was amazing, and she was like, if you want, I'll help you apply. We'll take the ACT, and you can do it. And I was like, okay. so I didn't tell my parents I was doing it, by the way. I just applied to all those different schools, and finally I got accepted in several, and my host mom was just like, no, you should go to this one, it's so close, you can still come home in the weekends, and I was like, yes, that's what I want. So I'm a nursing student at Rogers State University, which is like 15 minutes from my house. Still come home every weekend, still come home to have dinner with the family, but 3 years later, and I'm still here, so.
So this is for whoever wants to answer, but what do you feel like you have learned from being an exchange student, or how have you changed over this year?
All right, I guess I'm gonna go first. So there's like two things: mental thing and physical thing. So like whenever I first came here, I was a scrawny twig, and I still am, but I put on some muscle a little bit. So I got more confident. Like my host mom, Trisha, always tells me all the time whenever we are in a car ride or something. She told me that ever since you came here until now, you got a lot more confident and a lot more like, social, and I'm more willing to put myself in the American culture, be more Americanized, and like they said, their host mom, Mom Alicia, she said that I look more American. She said there's something about me that's just, it looks like I'm just born here and raised here. So that's been a really good thing, because I feel like before I came here, I was real shy, I was real nervous. Right now, I'm still shy and nervous, but just improved. It improved. Yeah, so yeah, that's basically it.
I think I changed a lot, and mostly because of the people I met, because you actually start a new life, so you meet new people, and you have to start from the beginning, like no one knows you. So I think, as you said, I became more confident too, and something that I learned is that I will be more respectful of my parents and family, because here I had to. Like, I had to be respectful of my host family, I had to help them out, and now it's not like a feeling of having to anymore, so whenever I will go back, I will do it because I want to.
So I've always been very shy, but since I came here, I learned that if you open your mind, you can discover and learn so much stuff. And I also learned that if you eat fast food every day, you get fat.
So, Mama Lish told me that at the very beginning, when I came here, she thought that I was shy, really close, maybe, like, she didn't really realize my real personality, just because at the very beginning, I'm not a shy person at all, even though I'm really nervous right now. I am not shy, I'm really outgoing. But like at the very beginning, I just want to be quiet, just to see like how people act around me, and then adapt. And I think this thing changed, because now I just want to show myself just how I am. I just don't want to like adapt to other people, just to, how can I say? I just feel that this thing changed. I just want to show myself, and then if people are gonna love myself how I am, they're like, I'm a lover person. I love everybody, but but then, yes, how I said, she was surprised, and then I showed like how I love to dance, and Cody last night saw that too, how I love to sing, even if I'm not a good singer. I'm not a quiet person, but at the very beginning I just want to adapt, and this thing changed. I just want to show myself how I am, and then if the person gonna love me, it's welcome to love me. If they're not, I cannot do much about it.
I definitely found out how blessed I am when I came here for getting into the amazing family that I got into, the amazing family that I have back home, and how everything is connected to each other. And I never cry. I'm after you.
So, I don't even know how to go after that. So, as most of us, I came when I was 16. So, it definitely made me grow up. It was, okay, you're leaving your mom and dad, you're leaving the coziness of your own home, and although you're going to a completely new a family, you're gonna have that another mom and dad as well. You need to grow up. You need to step up. And for me, that was a really big thing, especially since I moved countries and I was 16 and I kind of never went back, but it's okay. My mom is fine with that now. It was hard to adapt. But the thing that I learned the most, and it's my favorite thing that I learned, it was how to be a big sister. I grew up as an only child. I've always, for 16 years, it was just me, my mom, and dad. And I got placed with a family that had so many kids. Kids that are not even our own, but like there's always welcome more kids. And I was just like, oh wow, like that's a full house. That's amazing. I've never done that before. And learning how to be an older sister for me was the best thing. That was one of the things that kept me over here. I was just like, I'm gonna go back and be quiet in a quiet house again. I don't think I can do that. And when I went back for the first time to visit my parents again, my little brother called me. Second day I was out, and he was just like, Duda, are you in the plane yet? Coming back? And that broke my heart. I was just like, yes, I made the right decision. I need to go back and stay. So learning how to be a big sister and grow up was the most important thing for me. And I'm very thankful that my family gave that to me, and I got to experience that. And until today, I can still be a big sister.
Sorry for that. Well, what I wanted to say is basically, as Duda said, I've been basically the only child because I have two way older brothers, so I've been the spoiled little Barbie girl, daddy's girl. And when I come here, I had so many siblings, and I had new people. I love in that house that every time I go home, I see new people in the house, and I meet new people. I love that, because I love meeting people, but it was a surprise, and I'm like, who's that? They're like, oh, your host brother. That's fine. You will meet them. And they really taught me how to be humble and how to meet people, how to show myself what I want them to see, and how to adapt to new. I was never second-guessing myself that I could make new friends and I could start a new life, because I was always outgoing and really crazy person. Like, if you are gonna tell me go there, try that, I will go, without blink of an eye. But I was a little scared before coming here how it's gonna be, because back home everyone knows me and it's different. But here no one knows me. Like, it's a new list in a book, definitely a new chapter that I am gonna write for myself how I'm gonna act, how I'm gonna take this, if something is gonna make me mad, or like when something is gonna upset me, I'm not gonna be just like upset about that. I'm gonna say, okay, this upset me, it was fine. It's a whole day in front of me, it's not gonna ruin my whole life. There is so many other things that can make me happy, and I need to be optimistic about that. So I got a new perspective about those kind of things. And definitely I got more mature, and it helped me easier because I'm so indecisive. And here you need to do so many decisions, so many. So I just went for it, and I'm like, I need to do it. Sometimes Cody needs to do it for me, but he knows what I'm talking about. So yeah, I would say that.
Okay, so I did give them a heads up on this, but do you guys have a funny or embarrassing situation that has happened during your exchange that you can share with us?
All right, so I never did sport. I never done sport in my whole life. The only sport that I did back in my country is studying. So I thought that when I came here, I want to try something new, all right? So I switched my 7th hour in school to track. And from that on, I fell in love with running and, long distance, short distance, all of them. And one day, I was so exhausted. I was trying my best. I was trying to run faster than anybody else. I came back in my host dad's truck. I threw up out the window. He was like, "Wait, are you gonna throw up? Do you have a bag or something?" I said, "No." So he's rolled down the window for me, and I threw up, and he said, "Did you get it on my truck? Just don't get it on my truck." Because he has a Shelby truck. It's a really nice truck. So he loves his truck, and yeah, I just don't throw up on my truck. So, okay, so fast forward 2 more weeks. I was running hardcore again, and guess what? I threw up again. But this time, it's in my host mom's SUV. So I had to throw up. I was riding shotgun. They just pulled over on our way back home, and I just immediately got out of the car and just it was from that moment on, they use it as an inside joke. Whenever we drive past the place, they would just, "Hey, Hawk, do you remember that place? Do you want to throw up again?" And so, yeah, that's the most embarrassing story that I've experienced in this exchange here.
I don't think I had any embarrassing situations I can think of. Something that it can be quite funny is that in Italian, when we talk about cereal and gum, it's plural. So I went around my house saying cereals and gums, and no one ever told me anything because my host dad thought it was cute and funny. So I just kept saying cereals, I want cereals. And just one day, after 2 weeks of me saying cereals, my host mom was like, "I think I have to tell you because I don't want you to go around and meet new people and say cereals because it's not correct." So it's just that.
So this is very embarrassing. In Spain, when you are constipada, it means that you are congested. But here, if you say, "I'm constipated," it doesn't mean you're congested. So it was like my 2nd month here, and I got sick. So I was like, "Oh my God, I'm so constipated." And I was telling everybody. So Chastity right there asked me, "Wait, when was the last time you went to the bathroom?" I said, "What? What does that have to do with that?" And then she explained me, constipated does not mean congested.
So it was October, and there is this drink, Starbucks, called pumpkin spice. Mama Lish loved that drink, so I really want to try it. I went to Starbucks and I ordered a spicy pumpkin, excuse me. And everyone started to laugh so bad, and I didn't understand why. And then I figured pumpkin spice and spicy pumpkin are not the same thing.
The story that I'm gonna tell is about my host sister, Delilah, and we already saw that she can mess things up. But we were in a car, and we were talking with our host mom, with Mama Lish. She's in love with cars. She loves cars. She wanted a new one, nice one. She was all the details. She wanted to upgrade everything special. Our host dad is amazing, but he would ride whatever. And we were just talking about, like, mostly guys love to have a nice car. She's like, oh, he wouldn't mind if I would let him, he would drive a donkey. Delilah asked, what is a donkey car? We are like, I automatically knew that we are keeping going in this one. So me and Mama Lish were like, oh, you don't know what donkey car is? She's like, it's like the really low long car, right? I'm like, yeah, long car, it's a really long car. I'm like, Google it. She's like, I know what it is, long car. We are like, no, Google it. So she literally Googled donkey car, and then she found out that donkey is an animal. So
I knew that was an animal, but I thought a donkey car is just a long car too.
So, since it was a while ago, probably there's way more stories that I do not remember. But our neighbor was also an exchange student. She was from Brazil. Her name was Gabby, and we were best friends. She was another sister for me. We still talk every day until today, even though we're in different countries, every day. And we would drive together to school, and Mama Lish would drive us. Well, she doesn't have the best record when it comes to driving. She drives a little bit too fast. Gabby usually, in the time she had an Escalade, so several seats, right? Really big car. For exchange, like, I wasn't used to that big of a car when I first came, but I could see that it's normal now. But Gabby used to sit way in the back. Since we have lots of kids, Gabby's spot was way in the back. Lish, we were usually late to school almost every time, so she would make up time in the way to school, right? So she would drive a lot too fast. There was even a group chat going on with my host dad, me, and Gabby. Every time she was driving and we were getting a ride with her, my host dad would be like, good luck, girls, like, God be with you, and he'll send gifts and everything. By the way, she still drives like that today, even with her new car. But Gabby used to sit way in the back, and every time we're pulling up to school, going way more than the speed limit, but it's okay. There was one day, Gabby was drinking her coffee way in the back, and we were driving fast, and first time, I don't know the exact name, but the ladies that have the stop sign and the crosswalks next to the school, yeah, they were not big fans of Lish. Well, they were crossing. The lady had the stop sign, so Lish was just like breaking the way in, right? Gabby flew from the back seat with her coffee all across the Escalade. And I was sitting in the front, and I just see Gabby's head right next to us, and the crossing lady screaming at Lish in the car. And every day for the rest of the year, that Lish would stop in that crosswalk, the lady would look at her with the meanest and angriest face that I've ever seen. And I don't know if they still have the same ladies, but I hope they don't, because Lish still takes the girls to school, so.
Okay.
God bless your heart.
Okay, the last question I have for you guys is, this room is filled with local coordinators who are working really, really hard to find host families for all the students that want to come, this fall. And this year is harder than ever, really, because we have a lot of students coming. We have some schools that won't take them. So it can be really hard work, and sometimes it's a little discouraging or frustrating. So I just want to ask each of you, what would you tell them to encourage them that all their hard work is worth it?
I love you guys. That's all I have to say. Yeah, I really appreciate your hard work, and to my host family, especially my host mom, who's only here because her husband is still on his flight here probably. So I really love you guys. I'm really thankful to everything you've done for me, all the Chick-fil-A's, all the plane tickets that you insisted on paying, even coming here to Las Vegas, New York, and a bunch of other states. I'm really thankful for you guys. And to John, president of ICES, I'm really thankful for him too, because without him, I wouldn't have the chance to get a scholarship to come here to America and experience all these things.
As he said, I'm very thankful too for each one of you, because also if I only have one local coordinator, each one of you all has their own students. And something that I can tell you to continue with your hard work is that you probably know that, but you change our lives. Like, you make our dream come true to come to the United States and experience all of that. So I want to thank my local coordinator, Casey, thank you. But I want to thank you all for all of your work. And so, yeah, thank you.
I think I can just say thank you to all the local coordinators and host families, because they do an amazing work, and they make us so happy, and then they change our life completely.
All of you guys are angels. A second.
I definitely appreciate everything that you do, and the only thing that can help find your families is show the new families us, the students that are here, and let them talk to the new students, how they see it, what they can talk about, what can they get out of the experience, what the kids can get out of the experience. And I love my family, and I know that I'm so happy there, but I love my local coordinators as well, and I would be as happy if I would be placed there as I am in my family. So I know that all of you are doing an amazing job, and it really is part of you in us that really shapes our personalities and how we are going to interact in the world, and piece of you is going to be all over the world. Because sometimes when we meet the new people, we are going to give them something, and it's going to be something from us, from you. So, thank you. Thank you all.
So, all of you guys are angels for me. Being in America was just a dream for me. I couldn't believe that. Now in Vegas, I'm about to go to California to see my aunt, and this was just a dream, wasn't even possible for me. One day, I went to school and had good grades. I had a scholarship. Oh my God, I'm going to the US, finally. I'm 17, I'm about to take a plane and come to the US. I'm so thankful. I'm sorry. she's doing so much for me. She did amazing stuff, and the main thing is, so one day we were in the car, I was calling with my aunt, and she was in Dallas to visit her best friend, and Lish was like, why you didn't tell me that she's in Dallas? It's so close, she just can come and spend a couple of days with us and just have fun all together. So since I'm from Italy and my aunt is from California, the last time that I saw her was like 5 years ago, so I was so happy. So a couple of days later she came, we spent time together, we went eat, we went shopping, and I couldn't believe. I was like, thank you so much, Lish. Thank you so much. Now we are about to go to California, and so she's diagnosticated with breast cancer, and as soon as Lish found out, she was like, okay, we're in Vegas, we're gonna rent a car, and we're going there. And I didn't even like realize that, you know, it was just it was just amazing. I was like, you don't need to do this. I mean, you're here for work, and she's gonna stay so much in Las Vegas because she's gonna stay here also for the volleyball tournament. And she was like, no, we're gonna do it. So we're gonna go there, we're gonna spend more time with her. And this is just to tell you guys how much she means for me, how much she's doing for me. And this is why I think that your jobs, your work, it's worth it. You are making kids happy. You're really giving opportunities to students, to kids that they don't even know what they can do. I would never believe that, I will never be so thankful to all of you guys, because you are making kids believe in their dreams, because things can happen. You just need to be patient, you just need to believe in it, but things can happen for real. So this is why I think that all of you are angels, because you are connected with kids from all over the world. And they're gonna be so thankful. They're gonna remember you guys forever, for the rest of their life, because what you're doing for all of them. So just keep going, work hard, because it's worth it. It's an amazing job. It's just amazing what you guys are doing. This is all that I have to say. Thank you so much, angels.
It's hard to go after that. Thank you, guys. I don't even know what else to say. We know it's not easy. We know us as students, we can be very difficult. We can text you guys way too much. You make you guys be in phone calls that you don't want to be in. And all those late night talks, all those crazy long phone talks with families, with students, it's worth it. Although it seems hard, it is hard, it's worth it. You guys are making our dreams come true, as they said. You're giving students a shot. Some students never thought they would have that shot, and you guys are giving them that shot. You guys are placing them with families that are gonna become their forever families, that they're gonna experience something that they would never be able to experience at home. You're giving them something that they might not have at home. A lot of those kids, I don't know, America compared to other countries is a dream country. We don't have a lot of stuff that you guys have here, so to be placed in a country like this with an American family, it's everyone's dream. And that was my dream. I'm pretty sure it was their dream as well. And you guys gave us that shot. So I'm really thankful for you guys. They're really thankful for you guys. My local coordinator was also amazing. We had lots of fun. And all those ball games that you guys took us to the meetings, all those late night fire pits, roasting marshmallows, things that I have never done before. so good. It was so nice. We got to meet other students, we got to meet other host families, and we got to see how good we have and how well placed we were as well. So I feel like a lot of students were meant for the host families they got in, and they're in that family for a reason. I was in my host family for a reason, and 3 years later, I still think that it was that reason. So it's hard to search for a perfect family for a student. You don't know how that student's gonna be, but I promise it's worth it. Like for us, it's worth it. Thank you for the shot.
So I just want to thank all of you for participating. You guys did an awesome job. They were talking about how nervous they were at lunch, but they didn't seem very nervous, and you did a really, really great job. And I just want to thank you for being willing to participate, and thank you for coming on exchange, because I know it's impacted your lives, but it's also impacted the lives of your host families and your host communities, and it will just keep having an impact as the years go on. So it's a great thing that you've done. All right, thanks so much.